What's up, family? Welcome back. I'm just going to get right into it, all right? This video right here isn't for the people that know what it's like on the dark side. And when I say the dark side, this isn't for the people that have been on that ride. And when I say the ride, I mean the ride of addiction. If you've seen the darkness, then you know what I'm talking about. Every rock bottom has a bottom, and that bottom has a bottom. And that trap door just you keep falling. Each time you relapse, I'm not talking about a lapse in your recovery. I'm talking about when you relapse, when you get high and then you keep getting high again, and then you keep getting high again. Eventually you're going to hit your bottom. They call it the rock bottom. And when you're falling, that ride is a ride like you've never been on before. It's ugly, man. It's ugly. It is ugly. I am the happiest person I know because I overcame that. I overcame that. I overcame that. So many things can happen if you're out there just messing around, hanging with some people and you see them smoking something on foil, or if you see them playing with a needle and you're out there curious. So many things could happen if you engage in that activity. My number one regret used to be, I wish I never got high. But why carry that inside of here if I can't do anything about it? As twisted as that sounds, I'm glad I went through everything I went through, because that made me the man I am today. I'm an only child. My parents only had one son, and that's me. My mom tells me that I am the best thing in her life. I told her I'm sorry to hear that. But that's okay. That's a whole nother story. If you're out there messing around, if you're messing with these fatty pills, do your research. Do your research. You think it's all fun and games. You get high a few times, you might throw up, but then you still do it. What's that about? I know what that's about. Do you? That ride that I'm talking about is unmanageable. It's scary, man. It's scary. If you're out there messing around, do your research. Because I didn't. I did not do my research. I just did it because it was fun. It made me feel good. I was feeling sorry for myself at that point. And I was popping them pills. And I just kept popping them because it made me all warm and fuzzy inside. And it filled that void. It took the pain away. You know? Nothing in the world should feel that good. Except for genuine happiness. I used to get high and think, man, I love this. Why aren't more people doing this? When I was balls deep in my addiction, I used to drive around, look around like, how is everybody not on H right now? I used to think everybody was missing out. And then bottom after bottom after bottom. It got to the point where I started committing crimes. One thing, I usually don't like talking about this stuff, but I'm going to talk about one thing that happened. And this case is closed. It's behind me. So, this happened around the time I was working at the sushi restaurant. I mentioned before in a few videos back, I used to be a sushi chef. And during that time, when I'd get paid, I'd blow out my check. Just blow it. It'd be gone like a few days, whatever, right? So, I was so desperate. One night, I was hanging out with my boy, right? My good friend, right? But, like, overall, now that I think about it, he could have been a good friend. And when I say could have been, I mean, if I didn't cut him off at that point, I think, he could have been a good guy, good dude, whatever. He was a civilian. So was I. I wasn't a gangbanger. Neither was he. But one night, we went to a bar that was attached to a hotel. We were just tossing them back, drinking, right? Just him and I, two other girls. I met him there, so I had my... actually, no, I didn't meet him there. We were in his truck, and my car was at home. So, we were at the bar, chilling. And, obviously I, got high. I was smoking my pills, whatever. And I was like, yo, I'll be back. I'm going to make a phone call. So, I just had enough cash for that night. And I had to think about tomorrow. Or the next day, I should say. The next morning. Because I'd wake up, have no money. So, I took a walk around the hotel property. And when I was in the lobby, I was by myself. When I was in the lobby, I saw some huge paintings on the wall there. And so nobody was at the front desk of the hotel. So I acted immediately on impulse. I went up to those paintings, right? Took them off the wall went out the front lobby, turned the corner, put them on the side of the building, went in back, got the other. Nobody saw me at the desk, the front desk. 2 big paintings, right? I put them on the side of the building. And then I went to back to the bar. My boy didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody ended up finding out. No staff, nothing. If they did find out, I would think they'd go to the bar and, see if anybody saw anything, whatever. But that didn't happen, right? So whatever. We all finished up. And my boy took me home. And he went back to his house. And when I was home, I was like, okay, how am I going to get those paintings back? I didn't want to get another DUI. I didn't want to risk that. So I went to sleep, woke up, boom, already in withdrawal. I was exhibiting every symptom of withdrawal, feeling like crap. Already acting on impulse, just autopilot. My body's autopilot. Boom, I wake up, get in my car, go back to the hotel. Those paintings were still there. Throw them in my trunk. Wait for, I think it was like an hour or two till the pawn shop opened up. As soon as they opened up, I was the first customer there with 2 big paintings, right? 2 big paintings. Took one in. I'm like, yo, I'll be back. He's like, damn, those are nice. I'm like, damn right. So I went to go get the other one. Boom. Took it back inside. I was like, I need to see if I could pawn these. And I did. I ended up getting like $75, I think, for both. I didn't care. That was a good lick for me, right? So fast forward, obviously I got the cash and I did my thing, and I got through that day. I wasn't even thinking of tomorrow, which was the next day. I was like, I'll deal with tomorrow, if I'm not in jail. So fast forward, I don't know, like a week, whatever. I was at the sushi restaurant. And this white guy comes in, right, in a suit, looking official. He had a manila folder. I was like, all right, this ain't good. The restaurant I was at, there's a police department around the corner, so I was thinking maybe this guy's on lunch. So as the detective walks in, he stops. And I think him and I make contact immediately. So he stops, looks at his paperwork, looks up at me, walks towards me. He's like, do you mind if I speak with you real quick? And I was at the sushi bar. And I excused myself from the bar. Luckily, it wasn't busy, nothing like that. No lunch rush. So I go sit down and talk to this detective. He's like, you know why I'm here? And I was like, nah. He said, this is regarding some paintings. And I was like, okay. And he said, I was trying to figure out how he knew about these paintings, right? So I think he said that the hotel reported the paintings missing. So I think one of the managers or whatever spoke to the lady at the bar that was working. And she showed them it was either some surveillance of us from the cameras there in the bar, or pictures of us, whatever. So, coming to find out, the lady at the bar that was working at the bar, she knows my friend. So the police wanted to get in touch with my friend to find out who the person was that stole the paintings from the lobby. So they get in contact, whatever, they have their conversation. The detective talks to my friend. My friend didn't want to get in trouble, rightfully so, but I don't know how that conversation went. I don't know if he threatened my friend and my friend submitted, or if he just came out with it and didn't even want to take the conversation that far. He just like, look, I don't want to deal with cops, blah, blah, blah. This is who it was. This is where he works. He'll be there at this time. So that's how the police found out. And I really don't remember what happened with the case. I ended up telling the police where the paintings were. I obviously admitted he had all my pictures, whatever. He's like, just tell me where they are. I'm not going to take you in right now. Just tell me where they are. Something like that. I really don't remember the final result at that time, but I'll tell you what ended up happening with the case later down the road. So ultimately, the detective gets the painting back, given to the hotel. And I don't remember anything about the case from there. Like, honestly, I don't. So fast forward, I don't even remember going to court. I don't think I did for that. I don't even know if I had a warrant or anything like that. Like, I was just so caught up in my addiction. I don't know. Anyway, fast forward like a year later, I ended up catching my case for the case that sent me to prison. So I caught my case. It was for trafficking in stolen property. And I got placed on probation. I violated that. I got placed on IPS, which is intensive probation. So it's not standard. It's like the highest supervision out there. So I violated that. I was dropping dirty, obviously, blah, blah, blah. And then I get sent to prison. So I'm like, I do my prison term, right? Shortly before I get out, I think it was like a few months, like maybe three or 4 months prior to me getting released from prison, I received some mail, and it was regarding that case, that theft charge for the paintings. I was freaking out, man. I was really freaking out because I knew, I'd finished my prison term. I was what they normally do is if you have a warrant, anything like that, what they'll do is right before they release you, they'll have somebody from the jail come pick you up, take you right back to jail. I didn't want any of that to happen. When I got released, I just wanted to go straight home. So when I received that letter in the mail with the court paperwork, I was talking to some of my boys, like, in prison. And I was talking to so many different people as to what I could do about this. And the prison counselor, I think, like casework or something like that, they're called a CO3. So I spoke with him about this, and I filled out a form. I think it was a petition or something like that to quash the warrant and see if they could quash it and just accept my prison term for that penalty, right? I forgot the exact name, the paperwork of that whole procedure, whatever. So I filled out a form, let them know I was in prison for this long, for this reason, and I didn't get any tickets while I was locked up in prison, whatever. So I fill out the paperwork, send it back to the judge for that case, right, for that warrant. And I think maybe like a month later or something, I receive paperwork back stating that the warrant has been quashed. They're gonna give me time served since I'm already locked up, and I was relieved about that. So all of that I just mentioned are things that could possibly happen if you're out there messing around. This video is for the youngsters, man. If you're out there thinking it's cool to smoke, smoke, just do drugs, period. If you think it's cool to be out there, do your research as to what you're messing with. Find out what the long-term effects are of whatever you're doing. You don't want to experience what I experienced. 13 years of wreckage. Detoxes. In AA, they talk about jails, institutions, and death. I've been to the jails. I've been to the institutions. Next is something I don't want to deal with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted it to be a little bit longer because I haven't posted in a while. So I really wanted it to be as accurate as possible. And I hope you guys can learn something from this. If you're out there struggling, whatever, reach out. I respond to all my comments quick. So reach out, man. If you don't reach out to me, reach out to someone else. Just give yourself a chance. Do your research. If you have questions about something that you're engaging in, hit me up. My email is in the About Me section. Contact me. I'll give you my number, or just give me yours and I'll call you. We'll chop it up. All right? Thanks for listening.